This painting influences your empathy. It whispers in your ear, feel for him, although he's the one who murdered his son. But emotion is only half the trap. The deeper influence is timing. But can a painting even control your thoughts? When you look at a painting, it quietly shifts the way you think. Is this before the tragedy? After the betrayal? Right before the scream? They don't give you answers. They make you question. They place you inside a moment that hasn't resolved yet. And the human brain hates unfinished things. So it starts working, reconstructing the before, imagining the after, running scenarios. You don't decide to do this. The painting makes you. Something here is wrong. You feel it before you see it. The air is dense. She turns away. He stands rigid. No one looks at you. You're inside the room, but you're not supposed to be. Then Hopper's morning sun. Light spills across her face. She doesn't move. She doesn't acknowledge your existence. You're close enough to hear her thoughts, but they're not for you. A bar at the Folie Bergère. She looks at you, not past you, not through you, at you. The distance collapses. You're not just looking, you're at the bar. The execution of Emperor Maximilian. Rifles slice across your field of vision, eye level, close enough to feel the breath. You're there as a witness. Here's what just happened. Some paintings build walls. They let you spy on a sealed world. Others remove the wall entirely. And the second they do, you stop being a viewer. You become implicated. Something just happened. You didn't get shot, but something hit you. Your body reacted before your mind caught up. Why? Look at this. Raw strength. Utter helplessness. And here, why do your eyes lock onto the chaos on the left? Every time, the same force at work? Bright against dark, large against small, sharp against soft. So difference creates contrast. Contrast creates tension, and tension carries meaning. That intensity you felt at the beginning, you didn't really choose it. It chose you. And if art can steer your emotions that precisely, what makes you think it stops there? Quick, don't overthink it. Where did you look first? Exactly. That wasn't random. Let's try it again. What draws your attention? The terrified man. Why him? Your eyes just moved. Dragged toward the brightest spot, away from the shadows swallowing the lions. Last one. Where do your eyes keep drifting? Yes, right there. But why? Look at the lines cutting through the room. Look at the hands. Look at the faces. They all lean the same way. You thought you were freely exploring, but you weren't. You were being directed every time. By light, by contrast, by invisible lines. That quiet force, that's composition. And the place your eyes land first, that's the focal point. But composition is only the visible layer. Underneath it, there's a pulse that goes deeper than light ever could. You will feel it immediately. Why? Why does the starry night vibrate instead of rest? How does the red room feel like it's leaning towards you, while the blue room feels further away? But the golden hour feels much closer, although it stretches further into the distance. Nothing moved. The canvas is still flat, but space shifted. Through color. Warm pushes forward, cool pulls back, Saturation hits harder, muted withdraws. Your eyes read temperature as distance. Your body reads saturation as emotion. You don't decide this, you register it. Because long before paintings, warm meant fire, cold meant night, bright meant life, and gray meant loss. Color doesn't ask permission. It goes straight to your nervous system. So now ask yourself, if color alone can influence you that deeply, how sure are you that you're choosing to feel it? Art seems mighty powerful, doesn't it? It pulls your eyes, it tightens your chest, it knows exactly where to hit you. But here's the quiet truth. None of it works without you. Even the greatest art of all time cannot feel a single thing. You do. Two people stand in front of the same painting. One is bored, the other is loving it. The canvas is only half the story. The rest arrives with you. Your memories, your doubts, the argument from last night, the hope you never say out loud, the version of yourself you're still becoming. The painting offers a spark, but you decide whether it becomes a fire. So yes, art begins the conversation, but you give it meaning. You give it depth. You give it life. Every masterpiece has two creators. The one who created it and the one brave enough to feel it. And right now, that's you. I'm curious, which painting has touched you the most in your life? If this journey brought you even a moment of joy, leave a like and subscribe for our next adventure. Until then,